Hi everyone, it's Stacy with the Stacy Jewel Foundation, and today we are going to talk about building solid relationships. Don't mind me, I came home from hanging out with one of my friends and throwing me some ASU basketball shorts. But we are going to talk about how if you are not building your relationships on solid ground and with these 6 tips, it can ultimately be very overwhelming. So are you ready to have a seat on the couch? All right, let's do it. So how do you build these strong friendships? Well, you have to cultivate genuine interest. So one of the things is you have to show empathy to your friends. You have to understand their perspective on things, even if you guys don't agree on the same situation. It could be, I don't agree with this, I completely agree with this, but you have to be able to empathize with them and understand their perspective on it and not frustrate each other because you're trying to bully each other into believing what the other person believes. You just show empathy and show each other respect in their decisions. The next thing would be asking questions and being curious about their thoughts, experiences, and their feelings. You want to make sure that you are deeply engaging in things that are bothering them, things they're successful in, things that they need help with, things that they don't need help with, but you really want to engage in their life. And then you also want to pay attention to their interests. You want to be genuinely involved in their lives, right? It's not a one-sided thing to where every time I need you, I can sit on the phone and talk for 5 hours. And then when you need me, it's like, I don't have time for that. I have this, and this to do. You have to give that same energy when it comes to your friends. So you have to be empathetic. You have to have genuine curiosity in their life, and you have to also pay them attention, just like you want that attention. So the second way to basically build strong friendships is to communicate effectively. By being open and honest about things means that you're sharing your feelings and your thoughts on things, and you actually listen to each other's thoughts on those things. You also have to be respectful of each other's boundaries. I talk about boundaries all the time. You set those boundaries for yourself, but you as a friend should know what your friend's boundaries are, and you shouldn't force them to be crossed. You should avoid making them feel like they're doing things that they don't want to do, and don't assume things. Ask them questions. And then you also have to be willing to compromise, because not everything's going to go your way. You might want to go to this restaurant. They might want to go to that restaurant. I mean, sometimes it's a give or take. Like if you really don't care which restaurant, why you want to keep going back and forth on it. And something that would be more serious is like a friend you guys don't get along with. This person gets along with this friend and that person doesn't. So you may have to compromise and say, hey, I'm going to only hang out with this person when this person's not around because they don't like each other. But you can't avoid spending just as much time, quality time with the other friend as well. So you have to compromise in friendships and be respectful of each other's opinions, their thoughts, and disagree respectfully. Number 3 is be approachable and positive. So I have been told in the past that I was not approachable because I'm very direct. I'm very opinionated and sometimes can be outspoken. So I had to work on that. If multiple people were telling me that, as far as, I want to be able to come to you and share this with you, but I don't want you to judge me or feel a certain type of way, I had to work on that. So one of my biggest things is I have to make sure that I am approachable to my friends. I don't want people to think that they can't come to me, because I've always been told I was positive, but I don't want to make people feel like I'm not able to be a person that they can talk to openly. So you have to make sure that you are a very approachable, positive person, which means when someone comes to you and says things, you have to be able to allow them to be who they are and speak. Being positive is contagious. If you're positive, you attract positive friends. If you're negative and all you do is whimper and whine, you're going to attract those kind of people. Those kind of relationships don't last long because either you have something in common that you don't like and eventually you get over that, and then now what is there to talk about? Opposed to the positivity where you're motivating and inspiring each other. You want to make sure that you are being open and willing to connect to people, and you're not afraid to deal with the hard stuff, just like you're not afraid to deal with the fun stuff. friendship is not just based on fun and entertainment. It's based on real problems. Especially the older you get, you're going to have issues with kids, relationships, work, other friends. You want to be able to be approachable and be positive so that people are willing to relate to you. Number 4. All right. So you have to be able to take time to catch up with each other. I know this sounds like it is stupid and you don't even have to say it, but really you do, because I am the first person to say that I have my own to-do list, and life be lifing. So I get busy, as most people do. They have kids, they have different things going on, sports, they have work, they have, family issues, things that happen, and they don't have time. But you really have to engage in your friendships, and you have to make time. Even if it's 30 minutes at a coffee shop, even if it's, let's go hiking together and you're multitasking, like let's hike, let's do this. You want to be in that moment with your friends. And when I say in that moment, that means you're not calling and doing, oh, I got to call this person and do this. Oh, I'm texting this person. Be engaged, be genuinely engaged in that time together and make each other feel important. And you also have to do shared activities that each other likes. Like, I'm not going to bring a friend with me hiking that genuinely doesn't like to hike, because they're not going to enjoy that. I want to make sure that we are doing things together that we like, so that that time feels validated for each other. Like, we had a great time. We love spending time together. You want to be able to enjoy that time together and really make sure that it counts. Number 5. All right, guys. So I talked about so many different things, but you really have to make sure that you are nurturing your relationships. When I say that, I mean, it doesn't always have to be a special occasion to see each other. It doesn't have to be a party or Christmas or Halloween or Easter or whatever. You have to make time for each other, and it should be just a time, You also have to be consistent with your efforts. You can't just go 2 months and be like, yeah, let's see each other. And then the other time in the year, you're like, well, I'm so busy. You have to be consistent, because consistency brings value, and value means that those are the friendships that you want to spend time with. You also have to make a real effort, which means sometimes you have to go out of your way. I have friends that live all across town. It's not always going to be meet me at my house. No, sometimes I may have to drive to their house. Sometimes we may have to go out of our way and meet each other other places. Make sure that you are putting the effort in so that the relationship feels valid and that you're dedicating time to each other. All right, we're on number 6, y'all. And the last one. So this is a big one. You really have to show appreciation. And the reason that I say that is because sometimes one friend can feel like they're not valued or appreciated because they're doing things and going out of their way and they never get a thank you. You want to make sure that you show a lot of gratitude, because it takes a lot of time to make some money, y'all. And if I'm spending my money to go hang out with you, that means I want to be appreciated for that. And I'm not saying buying things for each other. I'm saying if 2 friends work a lot and they're hustling and they got bills and they have kids and they have things going on and they decide, let's go to lunch, they're spending money to see each other. So it's nice to send each other a text. Hey girl, it was so good getting together. Or if someone pays for one another, thank you so much for doing that for me. I got you next time. Just show gratitude, because that shows validation to your friend, and it shows that you appreciate what's going on. And then also you have to be supportive. I know this sounds like it's a no-brainer, but you can't always be the person who is built on the good time friendship where everything is fun, and you don't want to hear anything negative. Friends need validations through good times and bad times. So just being supportive, showing gratitude, and reminding people that we are friends. I love to spend time with you is what is effective. Okay, so now that I have kind of given you 6 tips for building strong relationships, I'm going to get into some psychological talk, okay? So according to Psychology Today, maintaining lifelong friendships provides a deep fulfillment and meaning. And basically, it says strong friendships are critical for most people's emotional well-being. A lot of people don't know that. And they assume that friendships are just for fun and frenzy, and it's not. It's for emotional well-being as well. So this means having the right people in your life, being around the right people, having lifelong friendships where people can grow and build with you as you get older, and just maintaining them. Like this last week, okay, today is Monday. On Friday, I met with one friend and we went out and had happy hour and drinks and just talked and caught up. On Sunday, I went to a coffee shop with one of my best friends that I have not seen in probably maybe a year. And we don't even live that far. And we just sat and talked and laughed and caught up. And today I went with one of my other besties to a coffee shop and we just kind of talked. And then that ended up going into lunch and we spent hours together because we're like, oh my God, we haven't seen each other in a while. And it's like the bond that we have been building these last couple of days. And I've been with 3 different people in like this last few days. And I realized like, okay, life be lifing, but I still have to make time for these people because I can't spend 2 days trying to catch up every time. And not only that, but I love the companionship. I love being able to just enjoy it. It releases stress. I feel carefree and it allows all of us to just genuinely have that moment where we're bonding again. And so even though I haven't spent time with them in a long time, I felt that something was missing. And so I reached out and I'm like, look, we cannot go this long without actually getting together again. And so one of the things we're going to do is like monthly things. And this is with 3 different people. It's not people that it's not a group. So I have 3 different friends that I'm going to have to plan to meet with at least once a month so that we are like engaging and building and having a good time. And I even talked to 2 of them about, hey, let all of us get together one time and do something. I mean, because they're not friends, they're my friends. And so I've never had them together. We've just all done our own individual things, but it's like the building of our relationship is just, I've known them since 4th grade. So I'm 46. Like, this is a big deal. I need to make sure I cherish these relationships because it's not like I'm going to have another relationship for 30 years. All right. So life is about balancing things, your friendships, your love relationships, your family, your career. You know, you have to be able to balance those things. And in doing so, if you are not able to, you have to start asking yourself the questions why. And if you don't really have friendships, you kind of have to ask yourself, am I putting as much into my relationship with my friends as I'd like? Or am I putting as much effort into the relationships as my friends are? And kind of ask yourself those personal questions like, am I doing my part? Here is one last tip. According to the American Psychological Association, friendships protect us from a lot of health issues, cancer, heart attacks, stress being one of them, sleep issues. These are things that just being around friends can be avoided. So think about that when you're choosing to work late and skip the time with your friends that you really genuinely need and you've been craving for, because it's a wellness issue. It's a wellness thing. You need to spend time with friends. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps you in some way. I hope it helps you build stronger relationships, show a little bit of affection to friends if you haven't been recently, and also to think about your life and how either emotionally stressed you are, or, you know, how maybe as you get older, physically things are happening. If you don't have a friend to enjoy time with, and it doesn't have to be talking stressful topics, it could just be doing something fun, you can have issues. So think about that when you are doing so many other things in your life, and value the friends that you have. All right, you guys, enjoy your day. And I hope that you can like, share, and subscribe, because I'm going to keep bringing you little tips from psychology. All right. Have a great day. Bye.